Welcome to another explainer from Forge College. We're currently making our way through the Solidity and Ethereum Quest's guided projects. Specifically, we're deep into the project testing and deployment workflow, tackling the module on seamless deployment processes. And the video you're watching today is all about rollback and recovery strategies. Now picture this. In our last lesson, you just finished perfectly engineering your custom access patterns and dynamic role management. It is an absolute masterpiece. You hit deploy, you lean back to take a sip of your coffee, and suddenly, boom, red errors completely flood your terminal. You just nuke the deployment. Look, it is the universal developer terror. We've all been there. But don't panic. Today, we are looking at the exact blueprint for building your very own time machine to fix it. Here's the architectural schematic we're sketching out today. We've got 1. The deployment undo button. 2. Time machine components. 3. Executing the rollback. 4. The golden safety rules. 5. The debug report. And finally, 6. Next steps in CI. Let's dive right in.
All right, section 1. The deployment undo button.
The harsh reality of building complex Web3 applications is that deployments inevitably fail. You know how it is. Networks hiccup, configurations get mismatched, or a script just totally misfires. And let me tell you, hoping it won't happen is definitely not a strategy. To put it simply, a rollback strategy is exactly like loading a save game file. When your character, or in this case, your entire smart contract architecture, walks into a trap and ends up in a highly corrupted state, you don't start the whole game over from scratch, right? You press a button, load the precise snapshot from right before things went completely off the rails, and return your project to a known good configuration. It's a highly precise, calculated procedure to reverse the damage.
Moving on to section 2, time machine components. So what parts actually make up this time machine? Well, to make this work, we need 3 finely tuned core files. First up, the manifest.json, which meticulously records your metadata. Next, the snapshot.json files, which capture your precise storage values. And finally, rollback.js. That's the engine that actually restores the state. Oh, and I need to give you a massive safety warning right here. For all your hands-on practice, you must always use a local Hardhat node or a forked network. Never, ever point these experimental scripts at mainnet. You've been warned.
Let's look a bit closer at the deployment manifest. Think of this as your master ledger. It's the authoritative metadata record that tracks artifact versions, deployed addresses, and migration hashes. But the real magic here, the absolute secret sauce for our rollback, is the previousManifest pointer. This one little line in your JSON file is the exact GPS coordinate our time machine needs to travel back to. It essentially tells the system, hey, if this current version is completely broken, here's the exact file name of the last version that worked perfectly.
And this perfectly illustrates why that pointer is so vital. A perfectly healthy manifest seamlessly matches the on-chain state with correct addresses. But a faulty manifest, it might have completely corrupted pointers, like a registry that just points to a massive string of zeros. Total corruption. This is exactly the kind of critical failure we need our time machine to fix.
Now, while the manifest tells us where everything is, the state snapshot tells us what everything is. This snapshot is a super minimal, lightweight record of the exact storage keys and data values from your last known good state. When our rollback script fires off, it's going to grab these exact values to reconstruct the past. Later on, our validation scripts will actually check against this very snapshot to confirm we've successfully reversed all the damage.
Okay, section 3, executing the rollback.
It is time to step into the lab and actually pull the levers. Here is the exact 4-step sequence our rollback.js script runs through. Step 1, we detect the failure using our validation script. Step 2, the script reads that previousManifest pointer we just talked about to find our safety coordinate. Step 3, this is where the heavy lifting happens. We use Hardhat ethers to interact with the blockchain and physically correct the on-chain state, carefully restoring our mapping keys to their proper values. And finally, step 4, we atomically replace the manifest file on our local machine.
To actually trigger all of that magic, you just need one simple terminal command. Node scripts /rollback.js -- manifest deploy /manifest.js -- network localhost. The split second you hit enter, your script springs to life, reads the bad manifest, finds the pointer to the good one, and executes the state reversal right there on your local network. It's pretty awesome to watch.
Next up, section 4, the golden safety rules. Operating a time machine is dangerous work, folks, so burn this rule in your memory right now. Perform corrective on-chain writes before replacing the local manifest.
Seriously, if you update your local JSON file to say, hey, everything is fine before the blockchain actually is fine, your system will report a restored local state that completely contradicts the broken on-chain reality. You'll literally be flying blind. Always fix the chain first, and then update your local records.
That critical rule is what we in the industry call atomic manifest replacement. And the word atomic here literally means all or nothing. We only overwrite the local manifest file after and strictly after every single on-chain restoring transaction has successfully confirmed. This guarantees we never end up with a partial rollback, which, let's be honest, would leave your entire deployment environment hopelessly and confusingly inconsistent.
Our second golden rule is making sure your rollback is idempotent. Okay, yes, that's a very fancy engineering term, but it basically just means repeatability. Let's say a developer totally panics during a failed deployment and frantically smashes the undo button 3 times in a row. The script should be perfectly safe to run multiple times. It shouldn't execute overlapping transactions or break things even further. It should simply look at the state, say, relax, we are already good, and leave the system in the exact same known good configuration.
Moving on to Section 5, the debug report.
Once the fires are totally put out, we have to make sure we actually learn from the failure. Your debug report artifact needs to be incredibly precise. It must include the exact list of commands you ran and their full terminal outputs. It absolutely needs the transaction hashes for your state-restoring transactions to prove the on-chain fix actually happened. It must have the time-stamped output from your validation script, clearly showing that all checks passed. And finally, a simple confirmation of idempotency, proving you ran it twice and the system stayed stable. In the various courses and learning materials at Forge College, we heavily emphasize this kind of root cause documentation. It really is what separates the amateurs from the pros.
Finally, Section 6, Next Steps in CI. So where exactly does this manual rollback script fit into the bigger picture of your workflow? Well, that leads us to a very exciting question. What happens when we completely automate this time machine? I want to briefly tease our next lesson, assembling a deployment pipeline for continuous integration. Because soon, you aren't going to be running these commands manually at all. These exact rollback and validation scripts will become automatic deployment gates, running quietly and non-interactively to protect your project while you're fast asleep.
Let's wrap this up. Remember your key takeaways. Treat your manifests as your authoritative metadata, your snapshots as your minimal state, and strictly design your rollbacks to be both repeatable and atomic. If you do this, a failed deployment goes from being an absolute nightmare to just a minor, automated speed bump. But I want to leave you with this. If you can completely automate your rollback, what's stopping you from automating the detection of bugs before they ever even reach the manifest? Think about that as you prepare for our CI Pipelines module. Thank you so much for joining me today. I highly recommend you head over to forge.college to explore more Web3 programs, dive deeper into these courses, and join our amazing community of builders. Keep building, keep testing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.